Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope all of you are keeping well. चलो आज की इंग्लिश क्लॉक की लर्निंग स्टार्ट करते हैं. Today we have to pick up a thing of beauty. This is our next poetry from Flamingo itself. I hope that you're liking the series. If you are, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel. As I've already told you, I plan to finish up the CBSE board syllabus before the end of this year so that all of you can set foot in the exams, like a very prepared foot in the exam. Chalo, without further ado, let's get into the video. Let's start with the explanation. A Thing of Beauty is written by John Keats. John Keats is a poet who is very famous for his odes. He has written multiple odes, and he died very young. John Keats, right? So he was suffering from tuberculosis when he died, and he died at the age of 26, actually, very very young. And because of TB he died. And he wrote amazing poetry in the very last 2 3 years of his life, and he became very famous with that. एक बार quickly हम देख लेते हैं what do we think it is important from his side. A British romantic poet, although trained to be a surgeon, Keats decided to devote himself wholly to poetry. Keats' secret, his power to sway and delight the readers, lies primarily in his gift for perceiving the world and living his mood and aspirations in terms of language. He was actually a nature poet, right? Because he was totally in love with nature, and he wrote beautiful things about nature. He wrote very beautiful things about nature. The following is an excerpt from his poem An Endymion, a poetic romance. This poem is very important again. This poem is based on a Greek legend in which Endymion, a beautiful young shepherd and a poet who lived on Mount Latmos, had a vision of Cynthia, the moon goddess. The enchanted youth resolved to seek her out and so wandered away through the forest and down under the sea. So this is in search of love, the entire Endymion basically. But हमारे लिए एक छोटा सा part है Endymion का, that is a thing of beauty. Now देखो, to understand this poetry, it is important for us to understand that Keats was inspired by two things. Number one, nature. Of course, I've already told you. Number two is Greek mythology. He was very inspired with Greek mythology. Like, he had good thought about Greek mythology, and he thought that all the Greek mythological heroes, these people, they were heroes, very powerful. So these two things are very much there in our text. Now, a thing of beauty is a joy forever. What Keats says, that a thing that is beautiful, he entirely is talking about this, and he says that a thing that is beautiful is actually a permanent joy for us, right? When I say permanent joy, that implies that whatever happiness I am getting out of a thing that is beautiful to me will never fade, right? I'll just rewrite this again so that if you take screenshots, it'll be helpful for you. Greek mythology and nature. Okay. सो इसको आप बहुत सिंप्लीफाई में कर सकते हो. अगर आपका कोई गिल्टी प्लेजर है, दैट इफ़ यू इन्जॉय मूवीज, इफ़ यू इन्जॉय बिंज वॉचिंग समथिंग, इफ़ यू इन्जॉय रीडिंग, देन वेन एवर यू विल get yourself like whenever you will be a part of that event or like act, you will always be happy. आप कभी unhappy feel ही नहीं करोगे. For example, sleeping is my guilty pleasure. I'm tired, I'll sleep. I don't have a very good mood, I sleep and I refresh like that. So that happiness will never decrease. That happiness will just be stagnant every time. Jab bhi I'll be more upset, more happy I'll be by the end of this day. So he says, a thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases. It will never pass into nothingness. That implies a thing of beauty को I'm going to write TOB. ठीक है? It implies that TOB की value would never be equal to 0. Right? If something is beautiful to me, if something is dear to me, then its value will never be decreased. Its value would always and always be important for me, but will keep a bower quiet for us. Bower is a shade wala place, like I'm not saying shady, but it's a shade place under the tree. And a sleep full of sweet dreams and health and quiet breathing. Quiet breathing means obviously there is mental peace, you are not anxious, you are so relaxed. There's this sense of serenity, there would be a sense of calmness, all these things, right? Therefore, on every morrow, morrow implies tomorrow. Therefore, every tomorrow, are we reading a flowery band to bind us to the earth? Before नीचे आते हैं ऊपर देख लेते हैं. He says that value कभी भी zero नहीं होगी, will never pass into nothingness. और जो thing of beauty है वो हमारे लिए एक shade में place होगा in this scorching heat. Whenever we are like facing darkness, sadness, then this thing would actually make us happy. ये हमारे लिए एक shade होगा. And if we will have a like, if we will be in company of good things and things of beauty, then we will always have good sleep. That means we'll have serenity, we'll have peace, and our health will also be nice. We'll be mentally and physically healthy. I hope you know that WHO says health is all about mental and physical well-being. It's not just mental, and it's not just physical. So he says, ठीक है. Therefore वो बोलता है फिर, that is why every morning we are reading a flowery band. Reading, read is actually, you must have seen that एक ना circle में there is this flower की तरह ना, जो हम if we want to felicitate somebody तो हम express तो हम किसी के लिए just somebody dies, or if we want to, how do we call it, if somebody dies, then we asked for that person. Just say for example, let me show it to you. That's actually a wreath. Oh, my bad, sorry. That's a wreath, the first one. That's a wreath. So he's saying that we are connecting ourselves to the world, and this is like a flowery band. These good things are just a flowery band that is binding us to the earth. Spite of despondence, this is in spite of despondence, like the feeling of disdain, the feeling of sadness, all the negative things, basically everything negative, of the inhuman dearth of noble natures of the gloomy days. Dearth is shortage. So there is shortage of good people, there is shortage of kind people, of the inhuman dearth of noble nature of the gloomy days, of all the unhealthy and over darkened ways made for our searching. यहाँ तक करो पहले अभी. So he says all these things, we have sadness, we have negativity, we have shortage of good people, there is no kindness in the world, every bad thing is there, and this thing of beauty is going to help us out, eradicate everything, help us out, overcome everything. इससे overcome करेंगे हम, will come out of it, right? And then he says that we are going to search all these things, and these things will help him out. Then he says, yes, in spite of all, some shape of beauty moves away the pall. Some shape of beauty implies that there is no definite shape of beauty. Something that is beautiful can be a circle for me, and can be a rectangle for you, can be a triangle for somebody else. It can be any shape. It's not necessary. I might be happy eating a kaju katli. You might be happy eating a rasgulla. So we have different shapes, and that thing also makes us happy. Moves away the pall. Pall is like a dark covering. So a happy thing will just come out as a very beautiful light, and it will help us escape all the darkness. ठीक है? From our dark spirits. Dark spirits implies our negative thoughts and everything negative that we can think of, and everything, not just thoughts but acts also, actions as well. Such कौन सी things of beauty है हमारे पास? We have sun, moon, trees old and young, sprouting a shady boon. So all these trees that we have, these trees are giving us shade. And what do I mean by shade? For simple sheep and such are daffodils. So these trees are giving us shade for simple sheep. The sheep, the animals, they are just taking shade under the tree. And such are daffodils with the green world they live in. Green world implies the forest. So daffodils implies that there's this forest ka area, total forest ka area. And then you must have seen this image na, हम एक image बनाते थे when we were very small. We used to draw this very beautiful scenery with mountain and a sun and then a hut somewhere, a house and a tree wherein a river would flow. It's a very common drawing, everybody must have drawn this. So it's the beautiful scenery of nature. He says that the clear rills, this clear rills is this mount river, sorry. So the clear rills, this stream is actually creating a cooling covert. It's like a place which is helping us to run away from the scorching heat because of the sun and everything. The entire place is all hot and humid against the hot season. So it is heat, it's hot, and this rill is actually giving us a breakthrough from that. The mid forest break, rich with a sprinkling of fair musk rose blooms. So similarly, it's all foresty, it's all green everywhere, and within the green we have this small passage wherein we have very beautiful roses, fair musk rose blooms, where the roses are blooming, right? See, अगर आप ये लाइन्स पढ़ोगे तो आपको एक बहुत ब्यूटीफुल नेचर, बहुत ब्यूटीफुल सीनरी का पता लगेगा, अ वेरी पिक्चरेस्क सीनरी. एंड दैट इज़ वाई आई टोल्ड यू दैट ही इज़ अ नेचर्स का पोएट, राइट? बिकॉज ही इज सो इंस्पायर्ड बाय एवरीथिंग ही सी. अब जो नेक्स्ट की लाइन्स हैं कुछ हमारे पास, दीज लाइन्स आर हिज इंस्पिरेशन फ्रॉम ग्रीक माइथोलॉजी. ओके, नाउ डोंट फॉरगेट दिस इज जस्ट एन एक्सर्प्ट. ऑब्वियसली ये पूरी पोइट्री नहीं है, इसलिए आपको थोड़ी इनकम्प्लीट भी लगेगी. एंड सच टू इज द ग्रैंडियर ऑफ द डूम्स. ही सेज दैट द वन हु डाइज, डूम्सडे, तो वन हु डाइज उसमें भी ग्रैंडियर है. कौन है वो लोग? ऑल द ग्रीक माइथोलॉजिस्ट, ऑल द ग्रीक हीरोज, हीरोइंस, ह्यूज लीडर्स, basically all the martyrs, the people who have sacrificed their life for us and they have died, people who have sacrificed. It's also great learning in their death. There is grandeur in their death. That means it is grand. It is majestic. There's so much height. When I say height, I mean respect and learning for us. Right? We have imagined for the mighty dead, people who are dead, then also they're mighty. Why? Because all lovely tales that we have heard or read, an endless fountain of immortal drink pouring unto us from the heaven's brink. So all the tales that we have heard from our father, our grandfather about these people, it is always a lesson for us. Every time we are suffering, we are confused, this tale comes as a lesson for us. And the poet says that the god has this vessel with him which is filled till the top, like till the top, an endless fountain of immortal drink. Immortal drink is the elixir, right? Elixir is basically amrit. And he says that this drink is all filled with beautiful things. Basically it's like a combination of all beautiful things pouring unto us from heaven's brink. From heaven also, whenever there is a shortage on the earth, on the land, the god sends few drops of these beautiful things. और कौन कौन सी beautiful things हैं? For that matter, आपका sun हो गया, moon हो गया, all the natural elements. God sends those things for us to enjoy, for us to connect. ठीक है? आई होप समझ में आई होगी पोइट्री थोड़ी सी. एक बार रीड कर लेते हैं एंड ट्राई टू जस्ट फॉलो मी थ्रू. इफ़ यू हैव एनी डाउट, प्लीज़ फील फ्री टू रीच आउट टू मी इन द कॉमेंट सेक्शन एंड जस्ट ड्रॉप अ टेक्स्ट. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases, it will never pass into nothingness, but will keep a bower quiet for us and a sleep full of sweet dreams and health and quiet breathing. Therefore, on every morrow are we wreathing a flowery band to bind us to the earth, in spite of despondence of the inhuman dearth, of noble natures of the gloomy days, of all the unhealthy and overdarkened ways, made for our searching, yet in spite of all, some shape of beauty move away the pall. From our dark spirits, such the sun, moon, trees old and young, sprouting a shady boon for simple sheep, and such are daffodils with the green world they live in, and clear rills that for themselves a cooling covert make. Against the hot season, the mid forest break, rich with a sprinkling of fair musk rose blooms, and such too is the grandeur of the dooms we have imagined for the mighty dead, all lovely tales that we have heard or read. An endless fountain of immortal drink pouring unto us from the heaven's brink. Clear? Ab, we are done with the explanation. Just make sure that you connect with me tomorrow as well, because tomorrow I am going to discuss the poetic devices. Along with that, I will be discussing the CBSE questions from this particular poetry. Right, so make sure that आप इसको एक बार just read कर लो, so that you can follow up, and everything needs to be clear, because this is an important poetry. There are repeatedly questions which are asked from this poetry. Maybe a line could be asked, maybe RTCs तो होती ही होती हैं every time. Okay, with this I'm going to sign off my video. I hope all of you are liking the series. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel English O'Clock, and I'm going to see you tomorrow with another video. Bye.